the HubSpot chat listener includes a feature called custom data layer values, which allows you to write simple or very powerful and complex rules to push custom values into data layer activity as users interact with HubSpot chat. The first step is to navigate to the custom data layer variables section, which is a global settings screen that allows you to create variables, which then become available across all of your listeners to write rules for. Now, I've had my listener published for a little while, and as a result, it has collected specific information about variables in my data layer and placed those here. If this screen is empty for you, you're going to want to first turn on some of the chat activity features in this listener and publish those changes and allow that to collect some variable information, because you're going to need these variables most likely, as well as some of these events to write rules. So when you're ready to write some rules, jump into the custom rules screen, which appears once the feature has been enabled. And if you'd like to spend a little bit more time digging into some in-depth examples of writing rules, you can watch the video located here. Otherwise, let's take a look at a chat quality rule that I created for HubSpot. In this case, every time a user sends us a message here, we're going to look at the number of total users. And this rule would like for that total count of messages from the user to equal 4. And if that equals 4, then I'm going to push a custom value into my data layer called quality chat, indicating that I believe this is a high quality chat. Now, if I want to, what I can also do is include some other information about where this high quality chat maybe occurred. So in this case, I'm going to grab the href, which is actually going to then push that value from my data layer into this custom value in my data layer, allowing me to capture all of that information into my analytics platform. So we're going to go ahead and publish our changes and then take a look at what this looks like on our website. So now that that's published, we're going to launch debug in Google Tag Manager. And you can see we've actually already had a chat conversation going on. So let's pick that chat conversation back up. So the user has just sent a message to our HubSpot chat. And let's take a look at our data layer value. So in this case, because the conversation had already started, this is the third message from the user. And it's also important to note that if you are interested in taking a look at this outside of the actual Google Tag Manager system, all the activity from ListenLayer is also pushed into the console. So you can very easily see this activity directly without necessarily turning on the Tag Manager debug mode. So let's reach that number 4 for message from user count. Go here. What we're going to see here is our data layer now includes this custom value for the variable that we had created called quality chat, and the value that we had put in there, which was high. And then in my case, I had a space and a pipe and a space, and then I had the full href, which would be the actual location that the user is on, including the parameters and those various elements. You could see I could have just included origin path name, for example, if I wanted to not include the parameters, or all these other pieces of location information. So now what I could do with this is I could write a rule in my Google Tag Manager or even inside of Google Analytics, where I'm going to convert a specific event only if it has certain values, or where I'm going to fire a conversion only if there's certain information here. And so what I could say is track a conversion if the event matches this value and the quality chat contains the word high. But then I could also collect this entire parameter into my analytics platform. And then what I could do is run a report where I could view where do most of my high quality chats, where the user actually enters 4 or more messages, where do those actually occur on my website? There's a ton of other use cases for custom rules. So dive in, take a look at the video here, and also note that you can write some really advanced rules based on lookup tables. One use case in chat would be to actually categorize your chat based on the page the user begins their chat on. And you could do that by writing a lookup rule where the lookup key would be the actual URL the user begins their chat on, and you push custom values into the data layer based on that.